Uh, I'm gonna continue my story from last week, so refresh everybody's memory. And I was talking about during the Cultural Revolution, and that time I was 14, and they started this big series, revolutionary series. That means the red guy and the students send they can get a free ride by the train and traveling the country to spread the revolution everywhere. And China is a big country, you know. So I was talking about how difficult, how crazy, and all the kids, and to rush to Beijing to see Mao, because Mao have this rally, and to talk to just want to promote his revolution. So anyway, I got Beijing finally, but the rally is over. That's winter time in December. And I spent about 51 days in Beijing. Even very cold place, but they, still have a lots of history in those architecture, because Beijing is capital of the China, forbidden cities, everything. Doesn't matter. Summer palace, even in winter, is still very fascinating.
Oh, where did you stay?
I stay with my cousin. Finally, one my distant cousin, actually cousin's cousin, coming to Shanghai. And so I begged them to take me to Beijing. So she said, okay. So she took me. She's 5 years older than me.
But I thought that most of the students who went to Beijing to see Chairman Mao, they stay in school campus.
Yes,
right?
still school campus. But that time rally already over.
Okay.
It's a summertime, I think August they started this rally. And I think it's 8 times Mao was received those people. But that time, December is over. Also very, very cold in Beijing, freezing. And then, so I stay in my cousin's house. They are very intellectual family, and have professors in Beijing University. And also this uncle is the one translated those Buddhist and stuff to English, because he was learning English in Shanghai.
Oh, he was translating Buddha's script to English. Wow.
Published. Yeah, so very important person. That's why the whole family from Yunnan, they original was Yunnan, born in Yunnan. They moved to Beijing, and by that time it was horrible. They have a little good courtyard, have 4 sections, but that red guy come in and took over. So the whole family all stick in one room. The parents, the brothers, everybody, just one room. And I don't know, no, I'm from southern China, Shanghai, and in northern China, because at the night it was so cold. So they use those brick bed. Mm-hmm. So one brick bed, so everybody sleeping, and then
it's a very, very long bed
to stay warm.
Yeah. No. They underneath they use the straw and to make the heat.
Oh, I see.
So
it's a heated.
But to me,
you burn wood or whatever.
Yeah, but I just not get used to it, like you were barbecued. But I'm not kidding you. It's so hot, Anyway, but and so dry, so can't have to drink water, So not very difficult for me, from southern China, Shanghai. So anyway, that time I met my pen pal. He is also from Yunnan. He was the cousin's best friend. So he also coming in December to visit Beijing. So we forming a group, and together the family, and then this guy, and we go to Great Wall, even in that difficult time, But we still took a train, get there. That time is no tourism business, You had to really climbing so we did. They come back, and everybody make a point, because they are very intellectual people, even during Cultural Revolution, and so depressed, they're being tortured, everything, but they're still writing a poem. But you had to express yourself somehow, privately. So we had the stove in the center, so everybody, I don't know how to write, so that time they teach me how to do that. So I developed my interest in the Chinese traditional culture. Those are all classic poems. So I'm learning a lot. So also daytime, we just go different places. They tell me the story, the history, and those places. So like 51 days, 51 days just passed by so fast. So then today I want to talk about, since I met the guy, he's a director of the Yunnan Opera. Because China is a big country, so they have a Beijing Opera. They're singing in the Beijing dialogue, and it's the official operas. But locally, each province, they have their own dialogue opera. So Yunnan language is a little bit like a Beijing, because lots of people original from Beijing, the northern province, but they just add some local dialects. So anyway, and so he's teaching me how to write a poem, and then he was giving me lots of compliments. He said that you are little sister, he called me. Little sister, he said that you have something, so you eventually, what do you want to be? I said, I want to be a writer. He said, that's great, I think, but now, during the Cultural Revolution, and you cannot do anything, you cannot write anything freely, and will be bigger trouble. So anyway, and he went back to Yunnan and write back to me about the Yunnan, how beautiful the place, because Yunnan province is really very far away from Beijing, but that they have all the minorities live there. So it's very exotic place. And also the mountains and the rivers, everything just beautiful. He wrote a lot of poems about that, keep on telling me that. So the reason I want to go to the labor camp, they have a choice, 6 places, so I choose Yunnan because of that influence. So today I want to talk about is this guy, his name is Lee, and his fiance is Mei, and their love story and during the Cultural Revolution. I write about it the beginning because I was so inspired by they love everything, so it called the red camellia. Camellia is the flower. That flower is camellia. Its flower is the Yunnan is very beautiful, like a February and March with blossom all over the place. They have one camellia tree with 1,000 years. So it's like a UNESCO treasure for China. They protected. I don't know now still exists or they died or whatever. So eventually this happy story, red camellia become a withered camellia, died. So that's the story I want to talk about. So on the March 2nd, 1969, so finally I arrived in Yunnan. So before that, I wrote it to my pen pal. I said, I go to Yunnan, but there is no response. But I tell the letter, I said I had to arrive March, take 4 days, 3 nights, and to get there. So I tell the date. And then finally I received, before I leaving, I received a letter, but not from him, and from somebody's name, Mei. So, the Mei is usually the flower Mei, Mayflower in China, but this Mei is the eyebrow Mei. So I don't know is a guy or girl. I had no idea. So I write her back. I say the biggest brother or sister, because she didn't introduce herself, the relationship with Lee. She just said that I'm going to be there. I'm looking for you when you arrive in the train station. But I said, I don't even know it's a guy, it's a girl or boy. So I write her back. And she write it back to me, and she says she's a fiance of Lee. So I got there, just amazing. I come out that they have this welcome ceremony, the revolution kind of. And I saw a girl, very pretty girl, very outstanding, beautiful, and standing there and wear the red, the armband. Mm-hmm. And because that means they are called the Revolutionary Rebellion Group, because they are in power. And she would wave it to me. I said, how do you know it's me? I will never exchanging picture or anything, right? He said, because I saw somebody looking, so you must looking for me. So bingo, really. Some kind. So I like her, and she liked me. And then she said, I said, what's happened to Lee? He said, I cannot tell you now. He said, on the way, he said, I will take you to my home, and my mother's there. So then we have a supper, and I tell you the story. So she got me to her home. I think her father is a professor at the Yunnan University, also the dean. This college, I mean, technician college or whatever. And he was 30 years old, he became an economy professor, her father. And somehow in Cultural Revolution, and the red guy beat him to death. And so I left her mother and Mei. And so mother speak because they original from Shanghai. So we same dialogue. It's like at home. So she cooked some Shanghainese food for me, so I feel like at home. So, but she still didn't tell me what's happened to Lee. So I said, you gotta tell me what's happened to him. And he said that somehow he becoming head of a conservative group. In China Cultural Revolution, Mao wanted people fight each other. So they created this rebelling group to fight with a conservative group. Somewhere in Sichuan, they even kill lots of people. They just they have those weapon factory. So they have two groups. What do you think? Everybody have weapons, so shoot each other to kill lots of people, right? So they locked him into put in jail, and it's actually it's not real government jail. It's like they set up something, just put him there, torture him, everything. So I said, for what? And he said that they just, because the rebelling group on power, so they want the revenge. I said, what did he do to the rebelling group? He said, no, he didn't do anything, but they think he's head of a conservative group, so he had to, has to be crucified. So that's the story. And then I say, how do you become a rebelling group? He said, yeah, because we are in different universities. He said, Lee was 6 years older than me. He said, I have two brothers, but they joined the Liberation Army during the Korea War. Mm-hmm. Two brothers much older than her. She's much younger. So Lee treated her is like a little sister, 6 years older than her. So eventually they fall in love, and so they engaged, but they didn't get married yet. And just about a couple of 1 week ago, and they decided to get married, but they arrested Lee and put him in jail. So never get the certificate.
You mean the marriage certificate?
Marriage certificate, yeah. So so she told me that, but she showed me all the letters. And I remember one was talking about their great love, and he said that you, like swimming, maybe you don't see the shoreline, but that you never will lost your confidence to get there or something. So that means suddenly they will get together, and she always managed the way and to see him, and so he wrote it back because he's a writer, so it's beautiful love letter, everything. She showed it to me, everything. So it's a fantastic love story, really inspired me. I said, well, even during the Cultural Revolution, and have such a love story is really great. Those you only read from those classic novels.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
So I really was appreciate that, and she told me everything. So I really hoping, finally they can get together, go through this. Right? So, but life, real life is never is a movie or book.